Despite government's repeated assurances, the protests in the island nation Sri Lanka are not dying down. On the contrary, people from all walks of life have come together on streets, amplifying the anti-government chorus and demanding resignation of the President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Demonstrations have also sought the repeal of controversial Amendment 20 of the Sri Lankan Constitution, which was brought in by the Rajapaksas to accord sweeping powers to the President as soon as they assumed office in 2019.
In a bicycle parade held this week, hundreds of demonstrators pedaled around Colombo to demonstrate against the government. And before joining the main protest site opposite the presidential office in the capital, they too raised their demands of removal of both the president and the Amendment 20 of the Constitution, which entrusts the president with the overwhelming executive powers. After multiple analysis and country-to-country comparison during COVID-19 pandemic, blaming Sri Lanka's mismanagement for the current crisis, the citizens' anger has grown several-fold, and they say they are not returning their homes until the president steps down and a new government is formed.
All of us feel that not having a very independent and a transparent constitution and governance is one of the main reasons for the pathetic situation that we are facing today with economic bankruptcy and political anarchy.
Sweeping across the country, the crisis has taken a toll on everyone, from middle class to economically weaker sections, and from the urban office goers to rural farmers, all have been at the receiving end. Long queues for gasoline is a new normal in the country. The tuk-tuk owners, who are one of the most affected sections of the society, say their employment is shrinking by the day. First-hand accounts of the tuk-tuk owners suggest a 50% decline in their average income since the eruption of the crisis, with some calling the situation worse than what it was during the COVID peak. They say it is due to the combined effects of the lost time, currency depreciation and soaring prices of fuel.
මේකත් එක්ක ගොඩක් වෙලාවට පොලිමට වැඩිපුර වෙලාවක් යොදවලා තියෙන දවසේ ගොඩක් කලින් නැගිටලා ගෙදර වැඩ ටික ඔක්කොම ඉවර කරලා ඊට පස්සේ මේ පොලිම යනවා පොලිමට රැ ආවොත් රැට නිදා ගන්න වෙන්නේ මේකේ තමයි ටුක් එක ඇතුලේ තමයි නිදා ගන්න අපි ලා මේ පොලිමේ ඉඳලා තමයි වැඩ ගන්නේ එතකොට අපි ඒක බැලන්ස් කරන්න පැය ගාන වැඩිපුර දීලා තියෙන්නේ queue එකට තමයි.
As per different media reports, Sri Lankan authorities, who are in talks with the International Monetary Fund for a few weeks now, will propose to borrow at least $3 billion via the lender's extended fund facility. A $3 billion deal would represent almost 4 times the country's quota with the IMF. The global financing body said last week that it was in talks with the Sri Lankan authorities for a comprehensive reform package. However, it hasn't specified the nature of the package being negotiated. Meanwhile, Wickremesinghe, who was installed as Prime Minister a few days back and now holds the portfolio of Finance Minister too, has increased the rates of tax being levied on common people as well as corporations. The government announced that the tax overhaul was being done to boost revenue, a part of the series of steps being taken to restore economic normalcy in the country. This decision too has suffered a major backlash, as people say they are already suffering and the imposition of greater tax will only worsen their situation. The government is trying to suppress the dissent through all channels, both negotiations and with the deployment of a large number of security forces. However, it appears thus far that neither is the country returning to normal, nor are demonstrations waning anytime soon unless a miraculous support comes Colombo's way.